the words by the court reporter coming out on a white piece of paper with the words on it?
Oh, I didn't, I don't, I seen it, but I didn't read it. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. My question to you is this. During the time that you were speaking with your lawyer, District Attorney Hilton, three of you, no court reporter, did District Attorney Hilton tell you that if you testified that you were involved with the Donovan Thomas murder, you would be locked up or arrested?
You can't ask me that again?
Yes, sir. When you, your lawyer, Ms. Bumpkus, and District Attorney Hilton were speaking, the three of you, just the three of you, did District Attorney Hilton tell you that you would be arrested, locked up, whatever the words are, if you testified to this jury that you had anything to do with Donovan Thomas's murder?
Yes.
Okay. Did District Attorney Hilton tell you, with you, Ms. Bumpkus, and District Attorney Hilton, no one else, that if you invoked your Fifth Amendment right, meaning I'm not testifying, you would be locked up or jailed?
Yes.
Other than those two things, did District Attorney Hilton tell you you could testify to anything you want or something to that effect, and you would not be locked up? Just tell the jury. Just think about it.
I don't know what you just said.
I'm sorry. That was a bad question. That's me. Thank you for telling me that I was inartful, is my word. Okay. Other than those two issues you just told, I'm going to get locked up if I invoke the Fifth Amendment. I'm going to get locked up if I testify that I'm involved in Donovan Thomas's murder. Other than those two. So if you don't say those two things, then your use immunity kicks in and you would not be locked up for anything else you testified to. Is that how you understood it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you ever ask District Attorney Hilton, why can't I testify if I'm sworn to tell the truth about being involved in Donovan Thomas's murder? Did you ask her why did she exclude that?
What you mean?
Did you ever ask any question to District Attorney Hilton? Let me ask it a different way. Did you tell?
It wasn't no question. We was talking.
Okay.
And we were going back and forth.
And that's what she said. That's fine. That's fine.
Sustained.
All right. Let me ask you some questions. I'm going back to your interviews or interrogations or meetings, whatever the right word is, between you and law enforcement, whether federal, gang, homicide. Okay, I'm going back to those that we saw the recordings for January 11th, 2015 with Detective Thorpe. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we say, it's just for the
Yes.
court. Okay, thank you. The jury saw the meeting or interrogation, whatever, the conversation on January 28th of 2015. Do you remember that?
Yes.
The jury saw the meeting or conversation on February 20th, 2015. Do you remember that?
I remember all the interrogation that they showed me.
Okay. And then the last one would be February 21, the next day, 2015. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I misspoke when I said the last one. The last one's really June 10th, 2015. You remember that one?
Yes.
Okay. I'm referring to those, and I'll make it clear which one I'm talking about. But I would like to talk to you about what you said in those different statements. And then if it was a lie, and then whether the police, the district attorney's office, the federal authorities ever came to you to say that we can or cannot, the words corroborate, but that means we verified what you said, okay? We didn't verify. That's what I'm going to ask you, a whole series, okay?
All right.
If I'm losing you at all, Mr. Copeland, it's me.
Let's.
All right. let's start with, and this is going to be, Your Honor, Jeffrey Williams, or JW 240A. It's in Elisa, and it's State's Exhibit number 378YE, already in evidence. It's June 10th, 2015. Interrogation, and Your Honor, the times are 10:36:34 a.m. through 10:36:42 a.m. And Mr. Copeland, do you have you might need those. What I'm going to ask you is there's a series of conversations with the with the police, different police officers, detectives.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go over what you said, and then I want to talk to you about that, okay? The first one that I just announced is the detective asked you, what started it off? Was it really about a windshield? And you answered, no, nothing thug, it's something personal against each other. I want you to hear that, make sure that's what it said, okay?
What started it off? Was it really about a windshield? Nope. Nothing thug had some personal against each other.
Okay, what I said, was that accurate or fairly accurate?
This what I heard.
Okay. And what you're saying there, you're being interviewed, if you can tell, that's Detective Dennis, and you heard Detective Gaither's voice. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And you recognize this as June 10th, 2015 meeting. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, at that point, you also said, and this is at JW 240B, Your Honor, is in Barry, State's Exhibit number 378. YE, and it's at time 3:13:02 p.m. to 3:13:22 p.m. And Mr. Copeland, tell us if you hear this. You said, you know what I mean? Honest to God truth. I asked why they didn't kill Kel. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Why and I'm not saying it, but HELL, they kill like he wasn't a problem. Did nothing. And Detective Thorpe, remember who he is, the homicide detective?
Yeah, the bald head dude with the script right here.
Yes, sir. He said, and then you said, that's what, I don't know what, and then I can't understand it, so you tell us. Then did. That's why I knew it was something personal between him and Thug. I don't know. Just listen to it and tell us if that's what it says, okay?
I mean, honestly, go shoot. And why the hell did they kill Cam? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why the hell they kill? Like, he wasn't a problem. Nothing did nothing. Like, I don't know what they done did. I knew it was something personal between him and Cam. I mean, but what was personal between him and Thug? I don't know.
Okay. The next one is JW 240C is in Colette, State's Exhibit number 378YE from the June 10, 2015 interview, 10:36:47, Mr. Copeland, through 10:36:51. And it's you saying they fell out before me and Cal got into it. And the they, if you need any type of listening to it more, I believe, and you tell us you're referring to Jeffrey and Mr. Donovan Thomas, okay? And tell us if you need to hear more of it.
They fell out. They both, me and Kid got to it.
Is that what it says?
I didn't hear it.
Can we redo it, Your Honor? Is that okay?
They fell out. They both, me and Kid got to it.
Does it say that they fell out, meaning Jeffrey and Mr. Thomas, they fell out before me and Cal got into it? Is that what you heard?
I just heard something about me and Kill. I didn't hear what I said before that.
All right. Well, the jurors can make a determination, so that's great. Whatever you hear, okay? And the next one is JW 241A. That's State's Exhibit number 378YA is in Elisa. That's at 3:01:37 a.m. to 3:02:52 a.m. And Mr. Copeland, this is January 11th. This is about 6-7 hours, 8 hours after Mr. Thomas has got the big shot. Okay? So this is the morning of January 11th, the next day, Sunday morning. Okay? 2015. And being with him that day? January 11, 2015?
I don't remember the date, but that's who questioned me.
And on here, just tell us if you hear Detective Thorpe saying, what made you want to pull you into this situation? And you said, me and him had a problem in the club. Kel, they say, is the little brother. Me and him got into it at the club, probably about no longer than 4 months. So 4 months before January 2015. Just listen to it, make sure that that's what it says, okay?
Tell me exactly what you know dealing with this situation. Like now, without everything, tell me everything what made people want to pull you into this situation to happen. Okay. Me and Kel, you know what I'm saying? Now, we had a problem in the club.
I don't think it's playing through the speakers. Oh. Okay, well, IT's here, and there's not anything I can do about that.
Yeah, they say this to look brother, but I thought they were just saying that, but they say they real brother. And
Okay, let's
K-E-L.
let's stop for now. They're here, and maybe they can fix it, even though they had all week last week and it didn't get fixed. We thought it was, but it's not. So I'm gonna excuse y'all. The backup also doesn't work, by the way.
To be honest, you guys, the state is very unprepared. They're taking the citizens' money, tax money. This is just unreal. I mean, obviously, we know that the system is corrupted, and we need to get some people involved to get it fixed. This case should be the blueprint of correcting a bunch of railroading and different things that happens in court. And a lot of the statutes and the way that they do business needs to be changed just as well. But I'm gonna put it back on hold. We gotta wait. I guess the state is trying to fix the audio. This is not good at all.
Thank you. All right, as y'all can tell, we have sound again. We don't know why. We don't know if or when it will stay with us, but we're gonna, as long as we have it, move forward. Go ahead, Mr. Stewart.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Copeland, we are going to go back to when the audio seems to have gone out. I'm going to play again the JW 240C as in Colette, State's Exhibit number 378, YE, the June 10th, 2015, interrogation or meeting at 10:36:47 a.m. to 10:36:51. And this is where you are explaining, I believe, and you tell us, that they, meaning Jeffrey, Mr. Donovan Thomas, fell out. They fell out before me and Kel got into it. That's the part. If you could listen again, maybe that was when you said you couldn't hear, maybe there was an audio problem. Your Honor, can we play that through Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
They fell out. They both, me and kid got to it.
Was that better? Did you hear that?
It was the same.
Okay. All right. We're going to go on then to the next one, which is again, the audio was out. So if some people heard it, they're going to rehear it. It's JW 241A as in Elisa, State's Exhibit number 378 YA. This is January 11th, 2015 with Detective Thorpe. And this is from 3:01:37 a.m. to 3:02:52 a.m. Your Honor, if we may play that.
You may.
Tell me exactly what you know dealing with this situation. Like now, no, everything. Tell me everything. What made people want to pull you into this situation? Me and Kel, you know what I'm saying? Me and him, we had a problem in the club. Is that him? No, this nut. Okay. Kel, they say this the little brother, but I thought they just changed it, but they say they real brothers. Kel, K-E-L, K-E-L, Kel, okay. Okay, go ahead, little brother of nut, yes. Who you identified from the picture, which is Donovan Thomas. Yes, sir. Okay, go ahead. Me and him got into it in the club push. What day was that? It's just like every like a lot. Okay. So, but 2 months, 3 months, a year, how long? Yeah, about I'm saying no longer than 4 months. 4 months.
So, Mr. Copeland, there, are you explaining to Detective Thorpe that you and Mr. Kel, you know his given name is, you know the name Kelvin Watts? Do you know that name? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Kel or Kel, there you're explaining that you and Kel have been arguing, whatever word you want to use, for approximately 4 months before January 11, 2015. Does that sound like what you said on the recording?
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Smart, what you mean?
9, 10 years ago, going back, were you not getting along with Kel for approximately 4 months? So since maybe we'll say September 2014, does that sound right, what you told Detective Thorpe?
I don't know what you. I don't understand.
Okay. Let's just do it this way. You told Detective Thorpe on January 11, 2015 that you and Kel have been arguing since approximately September 2014. The way I got that is 4 months before January 2015.
So you saying when me and him got into it?
Yeah, approximately. That's what you told Detective Thorpe, and I'm asking you, is that true?
Yes, me is what true?
Maybe in September 2014, October 2014, November 2014, December 2014, beginning of January 2014. By that time, by January 11, 2015, you and Shell were arguing. That sound about right?
I don't get what you're asking.
Okay, it's me. It's my fault. Do you remember going into the police department, meeting with Detective Thorpe on January 11, 2015?
No, what I'm saying is I don't know what you're asking me.
I
You
understand.
asked me when me and him got into it.
Yeah, you and Shell got into it approximately, if you could tell the jury.
Like 2014.
Okay. Okay. Now, on June 10th,
Me and him was into it for a minute.
Okay. Does about 4 months before Mr. Donovan Thomas was, God forbid, killed sound right? And if it doesn't, or you don't remember,
I don't know.
that's fine. That's fine. And I thank you. I'm going back to the June 10th, 2015 meeting or interrogation with Detective Gaither, Detective Dennis. You know what I'm talking about? Detective Thorpe at time, ATF agent Cunningham at times. I'm on June 10th, 2015. When you told law enforcement, or do you remember telling law enforcement that Jeffrey and Donovan Thomas were arguing or had a falling out before you and Shell had a falling out? Do you remember saying that?
I don't remember what I told no investigators.
Okay. Did you hear that on the recording we just listened to? Did you hear you say that?
What I just say?
On the recording that Jeffrey and Donovan Thomas fell out or were arguing?
I would have told the investigators anything.
Okay. The truth is that, to your knowledge, your observation, so you saw with your eyes and you were present with your ears, Jeffrey and Donovan Thomas were, your words was big homie. Is that true? They were friends.
Can you say that again?
Yeah. From your observation, by January 2015, you knew that Jeffrey and Donovan Thomas were friends. Is that true?
Right.
Okay. And what you said to the police was what you've been explaining. You would do anything to get the police to stop looking at you. That's all you were trying to do, to go home.
Right.
Okay. Now, were you present on December 4, 2014 at 250 Auburn Avenue in Atlanta? Do you know where that is?
I don't remember nothing way back then. I don't know.
That's fine. I'm going to show you, with the court's permission, I'm going to show you a photograph of the building, 240 Auburn Avenue. Your Honor, I'll mark this if that's okay with the court. Can I have 1 second, Your Honor?
Sure.
I'm just looking for a number. Your Honor, I'm going to mark it with the court's permission. It's Jeffrey Williams, 251.
All right.
And we will put it on the thumb drive again.
Okay.
If you can, sure. It's about to come up. A building?
So do you
I'm
not
just-
have hard copies of these things?
I don't have a copy of that one.
Okay, well, show it to the witness before we publish it for everybody.
Mr. Kokomo, can he approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. You can show the whole building, to show the safety. Did you show him the whole building? Yeah. This is it. There it goes all the way. next one. That's one. Show it to the state though, please. I don't think you show it. You are correct. May Mr. Kokomo approach Mr. Copeland again, Your Honor?
He may, once he's. Screenshot.
Mr. Copeland, if you just look at this picture, again, it's a more full view of that building that I'm referring to.
This business.
This is the building.
What about it?
I'm going to ask you some questions. Thank you, sir. Do you remember, and the date doesn't matter that much, but do you remember being present, or were you present, for the shooting of a music video on December 4th of 2014 at that location you were just shown by Mr. Copeland?
I ain't never seen that building,
Okay,
even today.
okay, that's fine. Do you personally know whether Mr. Thomas and Jeffrey Williams were doing a music video on December 4th, 2014 in Atlanta at 250 Auburn Avenue?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Have you seen the music video, or do you know of the song In My Blood by Jeffrey Williams, Bloody J?
Yeah,
All right. Do you have any knowledge of where that was videoed, meaning the music video? And if you don't, that's fine.
I don't.
All right. You weren't present for that.
No, I wasn't.
All right. Were you present in Miami, Florida over the New Year celebration going from December 30th, December 31, 2014, striking into January 1, 2015? So it's going to be about 10 days before Mr. Thomas is, God forbid, killed. Do you remember being in Miami, Florida?
Was I there?
Yes, if you remember.
Nah, I don't remember being there.
Okay. Do you remember seeing in January of 2015, after Donovan Thomas was, God forbid, killed, do you remember being present at shows with Jeffrey Williams and you know who Rich Homie Quan is?
Yeah,
The performer, you know?
yeah.
Do you know him as Mr. Lamar too, or do you know the name Mr. Lamar?
I just only know Rich Homie.
Okay. Do you remember seeing, after the killing of Donovan Thomas, seeing Rich Homie Quan and Jeffrey together
What you mean?
in Florida performing at shows? Were you present?
You said when? At what time?
Shortly after Donovan Thomas, God forbid, was murdered. So January 2015.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, were you, after Donovan Thomas was killed, at some point, Donovan Thomas, God forbid, is killed, at some point you are actually at Jeffrey Williams' home in Atlanta? Is that in the Sky House? Is that true?
What you mean?
Okay. So I'm locking in on the date that Donovan Thomas is killed. I'm just telling you the date. I'm not asking you to remember, but it's January 10th, 2015, okay? But Donovan Thomas is killed that night, or he's shot that night, okay? I'm asking you this. After he's shot, do you remember being at Jeffrey Williams' home at some point at the Sky House in Atlanta, Georgia?
Man, my mind, I had blanked out. Too many people were calling. I can't remember everything that happened that night.
Okay.
Like,
Do you, it's okay. I'm just asking questions. We're getting you're giving the testimony. It's fine. After Donovan Thomas is killed after the news got out that he's killed, the information. Did you ever see a posting by Jeffrey Williams about Donovan Thomas's death that night or January 11, 2015? Do you remember that on social media?
I don't remember that night.
Okay. All right. Okay. Did anybody with the police department, the federal authorities, homicide, I'm including everybody, or the district attorney's office ever come back to you and say, hey, I want to talk to you more about Jeffrey Williams and Donovan Thomas falling out like you told us? Did they ever try to corroborate that? And if that's a bad word, I'm going to rephrase it.
Once I got out,
Anytime. Did they ever come back to you and challenge you or ask you about this conversation that you had?
I can't remember if they have. I don't think. Outside the interior, once they went locking me up, we went there to talk about.
It was over, right? You gave your statement. They don't come back to you and ask you about this, right?
Right.
All right. I'd like to go to another part of your statements. And this is where you told the detectives, again, it's June 10th, 2015, that you tried to get Mr. Williams or Jeffrey, and do you know who Bloody J is?
I heard of him.
Do you know the given name Jason Ussery? Justin Ussery, excuse me.
Who they?
Telling the police, and this is, Your Honor, JW 240D, as in David States Exhibit number 378YE. It's June 10th, 2015 meeting, interrogation, whatever, or conference with law enforcement and Mr. Copeland. It's at 10:40:37 a.m. to 10:41:08 a.m. And Mr. Copeland, tell us if you hear this, okay? And if it's not, you correct us. Detective Dennis tells you, so the night at Crucial, when you were saying they jumped on you, you said, when all the, and I'm just not saying, but SHI blank popped off. So what happened, this is Detective Dennis, what happened when you came outside with Bloody J? Because you were saying last time, and then there's overlapping conversation, meaning I can't understand it, multiple people speaking. Then you said, when I, the Detective Dennis said, when you were trying to bring everybody back together. And the Detective Dennis said, you were like, is he ready? And Thug or Jeffrey kept saying, nah, he ain't ready. You remember that? That was Detective Dennis saying, you remember you told us that when you said, and you said, you mixing things up. You're talking about the time we was in when I called Bloody J and tried to get him and Jeffrey or Thug, you said, back cool. That's what I'm targeting, okay? So please listen to it. And if I said it wrong, just say it right. Your Honor, can Mr. Copeland listen to this, please? And the jury.
So the night at Crucial, that when you were saying they jumped on you, right? When all the shit popped off. So what happened when you came outside with Bloody J? Because you were saying the last time when you were trying to bring everybody back together. You was like, be ready? And I stood there saying, nah, he ain't ready. You remember that? You remember you told us that? When you said
You mixing it up. You talking about the time we just made the shit when I called this day and tried to get him to throw that cool.
Remember saying that you were, the discussion, Detective Dennis is telling you, you were trying to bring everyone back together, make everyone, friends again. Remember Detective Dennis saying that? You just heard that?
I just heard.
Okay. And then you said that you called Bloody J and tried to get him and Jeffrey or Thug back cool. Do you remember saying that? Or did you hear that?
Again, I'm talking to the investigators. I'm trying to tell them anything.
Right. That's not true. Right. You were just trying to get out of custody or jail. You want to go home, right?
I've been telling y'all that for the longest.
Sustained.
The statement the jurors just listened to, you were trying to finesse or lie to the investigators to get them off of you so you could go home. right?
That was my plan.
It was a lie, right?
My plan was to spin the police, hoping they'd let me go.
And did the police ever show you, or the district attorney's office, any cell phone records of you and Bloody Jay speaking at all on the phone?
What you mean?
When you said to the detective, I called Bloody Jay and tried to get him and Thug back cool, did the police ever come back to you at any time, or the district attorney's office, and say, here are jail records, excuse me, here are cell phone records showing you and Bloody Jay talking? Did they ever try to do that with you?
No, once they took me to jail, I don't hear from them until I'm back on the street and I'm going back to jail again.
Any time while in jail that you called Bloody Jay and said, wow, I tried to get everyone together? And that never happened, right?
Huh?
Had a phone call with Bloody Jay while that would be recorded?
I never had Blood J number a day in my life.
Did the police ever come to you or the district attorney's office to say to you, to challenge you, or to tell you, hey, we know this to be true or not true? Did they ever do that with you?
Huh?
Did the police or the district attorney's office come to you and challenge you on that statement and say, hey, we have information, this is true or not true? Did that ever happen? It's the same question. A single question. Did the police ever do that at the district attorney's office?
No.
Okay. I'm going to go to another one. This is your statement again. This is June 10th, 2015. Your Honor, it's JW, Jeffrey Williams, 240E as in Aaron. It states exhibit number 378YE. And Mr. Copeland, this is at 10:45:09 in the morning to 10:46:01 in the morning. And on this one, what I'd like you to listen for is you saying, if you did say, you tell us, yeah, so I'm like, and I'm not saying, but darn, but it says another word, but this SHI blank happened, but before that happened, me and Kel was face to face. You know what I mean? Detective says yes, or Then you say, truth be told, I walked up on him, meaning Kel, with Shannon, me and him, it was me, D, my baby mama, and her friend. You said, the text said, You said, it was Kel and about 5 more other, I'm not saying, but ends. All right, look, bruh, you know what I mean? I got a problem with you, bruh. You know what I mean? This SHI blank here, we've been knowing each other. Detective says, right. And you say, I'm telling Kel that, bruh, this SHI blank ain't about them, bruh. You know what I mean? What the HELL? Woo woo. We talked like while me and Kel talking, Kel, you know what I mean? All this SHI blank really about Thug. The truth, this is the truth. So detective says, so Kel's beef is not with you, it's with Thug. And you say, yeah, it was with Thug. Detective says, well, then why he? And you said, I was the cover-up. I want you to listen to this and tell me if you hear what I said. If not, just correct it.
Yeah, I said something like that. But for the heck of me, kill face. Now, I mean, truth be told, I'm a bum. With Shannon, man, it was me, D, my baby mama, and her friend. They were killed, and about 5 more. I'm like, look, bro, I mean, I got a problem with you, bro. I mean, this shit here, we been on each other. I'm telling the kid that, bro, this shit ain't about that, bro. I mean, what the hell, we talk. Why me and kid are talking, carrying that statement. I mean, all this shit really about cool. The truth, this is the truth. So Kel's beef is not with you, it was Doug. Why I was the cover up. You're not listening, I was the cover up. Listen.
Did you hear that, Mr. Copeland?
Yeah, I heard.
What I said, is that what you heard?
I heard it.
Okay. And you were doing the same thing you've told the jury over and over again, right? I was lying to the police because I wanted to go home and I was putting it on Jeffrey, right?
That's why I keep telling you.
And the police, you knew, wanted Jeffrey. They wanted to make a case against Jeffrey. They made that clear to you, right?
Yeah, they did.
So it wasn't that hard for you to realize, and I'm not saying you're not, using your finesse, but you knew who the police wanted you to implicate's my word. That's a bad word. You knew who the police wanted you to say is the person responsible for this death, right?
I didn't think they were gonna go after him.
Okay. And you knew that they wanted information from you about Jeffrey. True?
Yes.
Now, when you talk about your baby mama, did you hear that in the recording we just listened to?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the Honorable Miss Deshawn Quarterman, right? That's her name?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're aware that Miss Deshawn Quarterman, your child's mother, had spoken with multiple, but Detective Gaither at times. True?
What you mean?
During this time.
Yeah.
And we know that because remember hearing some jail calls yesterday that the district attorney's office played for you. And you even asked Miss Quarterman or Deshawn to call Detective Gaither on one of those recordings or two of those recordings. You remember that?
Yes.
And you asked Deshawn Quarterman to text Detective Gaither. Do you remember that, hearing that yesterday on the jail calls?
Yes.
Do you have any information that Deshawn Quarterman or Detective Gaither or anyone else came to you and said, hey, we corroborated, we spoke with Deshawn, and she said, yep, I was there when you made it good with Kellen. It's all about Thug. It's all about Jeffrey. Did that ever happen?
The police never talked to her without me knowing.
Okay.
They never talked to her.
Period, right?
Yeah, they didn't. They talked to her when me and her was in the interrogation room, and they really didn't say that to her.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And of course, it's a lie that you and Kel were on good terms, and that it was all about Jeffrey. That was a lie. That was part of your attempt to get the police off of you so you could go home. True?
What you mean?
That's why you said this, because you wanted the police to go to get away from you. You wanted to go home.
Right.
Okay. I want to go to, it's Jeffrey Williams number 240F as in Fox, State's Exhibit number 378YE. Your Honor, this is June 10th, 2015. It's already an evidence meeting, interrogation conference, interview, whatever it is called, at 10:49:25 a.m. to 10:50:09. And Mr. Copeland, I want you to listen to this, that you are saying to law enforcement. So when they ended up leaving, we pull up at the studio. This end was there recording a song, meaning Jeffrey. That song that we pull up tonight, he did that song. I mean, like he did it so fast, like damn N just shot at you, come make a song. So this is what I'm thinking, this damn, so we're up there chilling. So everybody was up there at the studio. So Thug dialed 911. He had a bullet hole in his car. So he want to know who shot his car. You know what I mean? I want you to listen for this. If I said it wrong, you got to correct me, please.
So when they leave, we put up at the studio. This dude was number one song. That song that Lil we put up probably tonight. He did that song. I mean, like he did it so fast, like damn, they decided to come make a song. So there's no thing.
So those that yeah, Willie was in cup. So he's like, well, he wanna know who shot his cup. I mean,
Did you hear that, Mr. Copeland?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say fairly what it says? Was I fair?
That's what it sounds like.
Okay. Did the police ever come to you after you reward them with this information and play for you or even tell you, hey, here's a 911 call made after the gambling house was shot up and a supposed bullet hit Jeffrey's car? Did that ever happen?
No.
Did the district attorney's office ever come to you and say, hey, we have the 911 call that Jeffrey Williams phoned in, like you told us, on June 10, 2015. Did the district attorney's office ever play for you that 911 call?
No.
There was no 911 call. You were just trying to get out of the police, right?
Sustained.
Was there a 911 call to your knowledge that was ever shown to you to corroborate, to verify, to support that statement?
No.
You're aware, if you're not, just say I'm not, that 911 calls are maintained or held by the police? You know what I'm talking about? That they're saved. They can be retrieved. If I'm asking a bad question, just say.
Yeah, they are.
District Attorney's Office nor the police ever came to you with that 911 call?
Did I? I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
okay. I'd like to go to Jeffrey Williams 240G, as in Goldfeder, States Exhibit number 378YE, as in Aaron. It's again, Your Honor, the June 10th, 2015 meeting with Mr. Copeland and the detectives. Now it's at 3:47:32 p.m. to 3:48 p.m. 00. And Mr. Copeland, if you can just listen for and tell us if this is accurate. You said, and we're still talking about the car windshield. Remember all this conversation about Jeffrey wouldn't let it go until his car windshield was paid for? Remember all that?
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
Okay. And it should say, and correct us if I'm wrong, that you said, yeah. So when me and Kel was like, well, we wanted to see what Thug got to say. So I called Kel on FaceTime with Kel, and Kel like, I ain't let SHI blank go until you pay for my window. You know what I mean? And Detective Dennis says, Kel said that or Thug said that? You said Thug. Thug, yeah. Detective Dennis said, okay. You said Thug like, Kel like, what? Pay for your window. So he looked at me. I'm about to go. I ain't got nothing to do with it. That's on y'all. So I'm out of here. I'm out of there, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, man, get nut on the phone. You feel me? That's what Kel was saying. I want you to listen to it and see if I've said that accurately.
so when me and Kill seen Church Henry, Kill like, well, he gonna see what Thug got to say. So I called Thug on FaceTime for Kill. And Kill like, ain't that shit go till you pay for my window. Kill, yeah. Thug like, Kill like, what? Pay for your window? So he look at me like, I'm like, bro, I ain't got nothing to do with it. It's on y'all. I'm out of there, bro. Stop, man, get that on the phone. You did. That's what Kill was saying.
What I said, was that accurate?
Again, I tell the police anything, get them out my face.
Okay. And at that time, by 2014, 2015, you knew Jeffrey was wildly popular in music. Is that fair to say?
Since I've been knowing that he been popular.
And he was also popular, if you observed it, in fashion, meaning like dress,
Yeah,
social media, he had influence.
yeah.
And he was owning several homes, to your knowledge, true?
I don't know what he owned.
Okay, how about cars? He had several cars.
Yeah,
And he would allow people to use those cars. He was free with that stuff, right?
yeah.
And he would rent cars for other people too, even if he didn't own it. Is that true?
I don't know what he do for other people, but it wasn't no issue.
He rented cars for you. Fair?
Huh?
He rented cars for you if you needed it. Isn't that true?
What you mean?
You would drive at times a rental car with permission of Jeffrey Williams that he rented. It wasn't a big deal, right?
I used to just go get the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And it wasn't only you, it was anybody. He's generous, right? With his things.
Sustained, you can rephrase.
It's fine. All right. You also knew at that time, 2014, 2015, Jeffrey would fly on private planes. True?
Yeah.
And he would allow you at times, I don't know the number, you could tell the jurors, to go on a private plane with him. Fair to say?
Yeah.
And you knew he was touring America at that time, right? He was performing all the time, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And he would do tours throughout America. You're aware of that?
He used to go to, I don't know what tour is, but he used to go to the different clubs and stuff.
Okay. And do you remember him having go to different cities throughout America?
I mean, that's what I mean to say.
That's fine. And Europe, countries like England and France.
Sustained.
Jeffrey would play in other places, not in America, outside America. You're aware of that, right?
What's the relevance?
So relevance is that Mr. Copeland's telling the police that Jeffrey Williams cared about a window.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Say that again.
Jeffrey Williams cared about a car window. The man is
Okay, I'm not sure the one has much to do with the other, so I'm going to sustain that objection.
when you told the police that this is about a window, Jeffrey's window, remember what we just heard? That was part of your finesse, right? To get you out of there.
When the police was questioning, my only motive was to get me out of the interrogation room free. I was trying to say whatever I can to get them to let me go, to convince them that I would help them. And this just was my motive. Every time they got me, that's what I was trying to do. They were bringing his name up, and they mentioned anybody's name, I was going to make up a story on them. I was going to say something about them, hoping that I can convince them to let me go.
And that's what happened here about the windshields, right? Same thing.
I don't remember what I told them.
I just played it.
I heard what I said.
That was part of your attempt to go home, right? True? Not to be locked up.
Right.
Did anybody come to you from the police, district attorney's office, and say, we corroborated, means support or verified, this this car window story? Did they ever tell you that?
After 2000, when I gave the interview and went to the feds, I haven't heard anything from the state, the police, and nothing until they catch me in the street.
Okay.
They haven't told me about nothing. They haven't reached out to me or nothing.
Okay. I'd like to go to the next issue that I'd like to discuss with you. Mr. Copeland, it's JW240H as in happy. State's exhibit number 378YE as in Aaron. It's again the June 10th, 2015 interrogation. It's at 10:42:23 a.m. through 10:42:32 a.m. And I'd like you to listen for and tell us if I am wrong where. This is outside of Club Crucial after you, remember you got into that fight on January 6th, 2015. Remember with the lip and the eye and the knot on the head, remember that?
And when that went wrong, my lip, it was just my eye.
Okay. And it was, the detective said to you, okay, we'll get back to see you 9. He's standing there with Bloody J. You said, so, but Thug pulling my shirt like, there goes Bloody J right there. You know what I mean? Thug and Nard were in the car leaving Crucial that night and firing at either Bloody J or Kel's people. Tell me if you hear that, okay?
Okay, to get back to you see 90 standing there with blood. I didn't get so, but Thug put him in shirt like, there go Bloody J right there. Y'all need.
You hear that?
Yeah, I heard.
Okay. Did law enforcement, do you remember Club Crucial back in 2014, 2015? You used to go there every Monday night, right?
Right?
Approximately every Monday night. And
No, every Monday.
okay. And do you remember ever observing or seeing that there were surveillance cameras inside and outside Club Crucial?
You ever cameras?
Okay. Did the police ever come to you and say, hey, we have the surveillance camera we want you to look at, or the district attorney's office from January 6th, 2015? Did anyone ever show you anything like that?
I never heard nothing about no cameras.
Okay. I'm going to play on the same issue, same time, dealing with outside of Club Crucial. This is going to be JW Jeffrey Williams 240I as an ice cream, state's exhibit number 378YE. It's June 10, 2015 interrogation, 10:43:20 a.m. to 10:44:18 a.m. And this is you, just make sure it's right. So when we pulled out, Thug and Nard got in the car together. I mean, so when they pulled out, we leave, but when we're leaving, Thug and them pull on a side street. I see them pull on a side street. My pull on the side. He like, what the HELL y'all doing? He like, boy, we want to wait. He come out the club. I'm like, who? He's talking about Bloody J. What the HELL? You know what I mean? I said, I hear the gun cocked back. Detective asked, what had a gun? You said, that N Nard. Detective said, You said, so I hear the gun cocked back. I'm like, what the F? So I tell them, all right. I mean, my brother was gonna have to turn around. Detective says, So you said, so when we go down and turn around and come back, I'm telling brother, SHI blank, just go left. And we just ride the back street all the way to the house. We just hear the SHI blank go boom, boom, boom. And we just see the car, Thug and them in chasing the other car in front of them. You know what I mean? Detective said, that is the same night you got jumped on at the club? You said, yeah, Thug and them chasing them. Because at first they thought they took money from them. Just listen to it, make sure I said that fairly accurate.
We pulled out. I mean, so we pulled out, so another guy come in. I mean, so they pulled out. We leave. But when we leave, I threw the phone fast street. So I went to the phone fast street. My brother pulled on the side of that. What the hell y'all doing? Yeah, but you know, we don't need to come out the club. I'm like, ooh, he's not Bloody J. What the hell you want to know me? Do I do it? I said, I just done cop it. Who had gun? The nigga Nard. So I just gun cop it. What the So when we go down, turn around, come back up, I tell the bus, you go left, and you ride next, we all the way to the house. We just hear the shit go, boom, and we just see the car door, and then chasing the other car in front of it. I mean,
This is that night the same night you got jumped on.
yeah. So, door and chasing me, because at first I thought they took the money from me.
Did you hear that, Mr. Copeland?
Yeah, I heard.
Was it fair what I said?
What you mean?
What I said was that, what you said, did I take your words and the detective's words accurately? What I said beforehand?
I guess.
Did the police, local police, gang unit, federal authorities, district attorney's office, anybody ever come to you with any type of verification of what you said? Did they ever say to you, yeah, this happened or this didn't happen? Did they ever even talk to you about that?
No.
I want to go to the next issue, and this is JW 240J as in Jake. It states exhibit number 378YE. It's the June 10, 2015 interrogation, meeting, or interview. It's at 3:46:40 p.m. through 3:47:45. And here, Mr. Copeland, you are discussing with the detectives that Mr. Donovan Thomas or Nutt came to the gambling house and met with you, and you discussed your issues with Mr. Shelkow. I want you to listen to this. Specifically, you said, I was just like, darn, but it says another word, bruh, what happened? You know what I mean? What the HELL? I'm just like, the only thing I did was, you know what I mean? That N-Kel is, that's what that was, because I was just like the stuff Nutt used to be saying. You know what I mean? Like Nutt pulled up at the gambling house and he tried to talk to me. You feel me? I let the window down. I cracked the window. He said, darn, it says another word, blood. I ain't blood, bruh. You know what I mean? But darn, says another word. You know what I mean? So I pull over. And when I pulled over in the car, him and Big Boo was talking. I mean, dapped him up. Boom, Shannon right there. Shannon walked right past, looked at me and was like, you know what I mean? Detective said, uh-huh. You then said, and he was just like, man, what's up with you and Kel? Meaning Nutt or Mr. Thomas. Like, man, these ends, let him trip with y'all. I ain't got no problems with him. You know what I mean? So we was talking. When we got finished talking, he like, man, I'm a holler at the end. I'm a let y'all ends know what's up. You know what I mean? This and that. Detective said, that's what Nutt said. You said, yeah. So when me and Kel seen, Kel was like, well, he wanted to see what Thug got to say. So I called Kel on FaceTime with Kel, and Kel like, and I ain't let SHI go until you pay for my window. You know what I mean? Just listen to it and tell me if you agree with what was said.
I was like, damn, bro, man, what is you? I said, I don't think I did ever. That nigga ain't the problem. Know what I mean? The nigga Cal is. That was so I feel like, and then I can remember like the stuff Nut used to be saying. I mean, like Nut put up at the camera house and he tried to talk to me. You feel me? I did one night. I cracked one. He like, damn, blood. I ain't blood, bro. Know what I mean? Damn. I mean, so I pulled over. When I pulled over, I got the car and they did boo talking. I mean, I went, boom. Shannon right there. Shannon walked right past, looked at him like, you know what I mean? And he was like, man, what's up with you and Kel? I mean, they him trip, which I ain't got no problem with. You know what I mean? So we were talking, we got there talking. Like, I'm hollering at me, I'm gonna let y'all even know what's up. You know what I mean? This and that. That's what Nutt said. Yeah. So when me and Kel came to the game, Kel was like, well, he gonna see what Thug got to say. So I called Thug on FaceTime for Kel. And Kel like, it ain't that shit, go till you pay for my window. I mean, Kel.
What I said was that fairly accurate, what you were saying with the detectives?
I never had no conversation with Ned outside the gambling house.
Exactly. Police never came to you in any way to say, hey, we corroborate that or support or verify that, right? That never happened.
I never had a conversation with him.
I want to talk with you about Jeffrey Williams number 240K, as in Kitten, States Exhibit number 378YE. Your Honor, it's at 9:56:01 to 9:56:27 a.m. It's June 10, 2015 meeting. Mr. Copeland, I want you to listen for, and then, correct me if I'm wrong, that you said to the detectives on June 10, 2015, so I went and got the car. I pull up at the green store. I ain't seen them out there. So I was talking to Little Rick. Me and Little Rick talking. I called D. D said he was on Cleveland. So Rick asked, like, where you just go? Because I was going to the girl's house. He like, all right, boom. I get in the car, I ride. I pull up at McDonald's. When I pull up at the McDonald's, detective says, you went to McDonald's? Bye-bye. You say, on Cleveland. Detective said, on Old Hapeville? You said, nah, the one across, and the detective then cuts into your statement. I want you to listen to it. We're talking about, obviously, where you were at around the time of Mr. Donovan Thomas getting shot, okay? Just to orient you.
So I went back to college. I got pulled up at Green Store. I ain't survived. So I'm talking to Rick. Me and Rick talking. I called him. He said he's on TV. So Rick had like, where you could go? You turn around. And I'm gonna go to the girl. He's like, all right. Boom. I get in the car. I ride to you. I pull up at the McDonald's. When I pull up at the McDonald's, to the McDonald's side, see that Wakefield, like, the one right across the street. Yeah.
Did I say fairly what you said to the detectives? Did it sound correct?
That's what he said.
Yeah. Okay. Now, did you ever get word from the district attorney's office, the detectives, the ATF agents, anybody that Little Rick confirmed your statement to the police? That they spoke with Little Rick?
No.
Okay. Do you remember the McDonald's we're talking about on Cleveland Avenue? It's the one across the street from a coin-operated laundromat, and then across the street from a gas station, and next to an auto parts store. You know which one we're locking in on? I could show you a picture.
Yeah, you gotta show me a picture.
Okay.
Nah, I know what you're talking about, dude.
Okay. In 2014, 2015, if you observe this, just tell me, if you remember and you observed it. Do you remember seeing surveillance cameras inside and outside that McDonald's?
That's not my neighborhood.
That's fine. That's good. Okay. All right. Now, you're aware by the time that all this happened, January, we'll just say January 2015, January 10, before Mr. Donovan Thomas's, God forbid, shot. You're aware that cell phones, cellular telephones, give a general description of the area the cell phone is in. Is that true?
Can you say it again?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At and around or before Donovan Thomas's shooting, that's what I'm locking in on. Were you aware, did you know that cellular telephones can tell a general vicinity of where the phone is? Do you know what I'm referring to?
You said, do I know about it?
Yeah. Did you know about it back then?
Yeah.
Okay. And in fact, you told the police on January 11th, 2015, within 7 hours, 8 hours of Mr. Donovan Thomas being, God forbid, shot, you brought a cell phone in the interrogation room with Detective Thorpe and said, my phone will tell you where the phone was. Remember doing that?
Right.
And that was you trying to tell the detective, don't look at me for the killing of Donovan Thomas. Fair to say? That's why you went there.
Right.
I'd like to play for you and just tell us, orient the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if that's what you're talking about. This is, Your Honor, Jeffrey Williams 241G. It's in Gold Federal States Exhibit number 378Y. A is in Elisa. Your Honor, this is the January 11th, 2015 interrogation or meeting with Detective Thorpe and Mr. Copeland. It's at 3:14:09 a.m. to 3:14:23 a.m. If you can listen to this, Mr. Copeland, just make sure that you tell the jurors correctly if this is what you're talking about.
I can't hear it.
So what I did was I kept it. I still got missed in my phone just to show you. I was asking everybody like, should I go down there, bro? Cause I didn't do it. They come scan me, they do everything. I didn't do it. They check my phone record, my vote copy, they show you where I was, they show you every car that I talked first, they show you where I was now.
Is that you, Mr. Copeland? If you heard it, saying, you could check phone records, you can see where the phone was, where I was. Is that fair to say?
Huh?
Sorry. Were you talking about in the Jeffrey Williams Exhibit 241G, States Exhibit 378YA, from the times that I announced? Was that you showing the detective with your phone on the desk?
Trying to show him I'm innocent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that phone, you see the phone that's in the Honorable Judge Whitaker's courtroom on display? That's the phone you brought in.
On the camera?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And did Detective Thorpe ever take your phone?
Shit, I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, let's do it both ways.
I don't really remember it was so fast. I don't really remember how it went.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. And if you don't remember, just say I don't remember. Did anyone on the district attorney's office or the police department ever show you the contents of your phone, that they looked into your phone? Did they ever come back to you and say, hey, we can tell where you are, or these are the text messages? Did they ever show you that?
Miss Hilty told me that, I think in Glanville office, that something about my phone showed me somewhere else. I can't. She said something to me about it, like during the trial, but I don't recall exactly how she said it.
Now, you had multiple phones, fair to say, on January 10th, 2015?
What you mean?
Multiple is a bad word. You had more than one phone on January, the day that Mr. Donovan Thomas was killed. You had more than one phone, right?
Everybody got more than one phone.
Okay. And including you, right?
Yeah.
In fact, you told the jury on August 12th of 2024 that you had more than one phone. And if you listen to this, and just make sure that's what you're talking about, the night of Donovan Thomas's murder. JW 249, Your Honor, at 5:44:48 to 5:45:16 from the Fox 5 stream of this trial.
But I might listen to some.
I think he's having a little issue. I'm sorry. Go ahead, ma'am. Just 1 second.
You may. Anybody need to have a restroom break anyway? Let's have a short recess while they get that queued up. It's about time for a restroom break.